Hi and welcome to the Creative Pixie YouTube channel. It's been a wee while since I filmed a video, so I'm going to ease myself back in by just going through my stash and seeing what I have. So this is my kind of main stash area here. This is where I normally sit on the sofa and do my crafting here. Little Kit Kat. And this is where I normally store my good skeins of wool, the stuff that looks really pretty. I have acrylics mostly in another place, and my cotton for amigurumi is somewhere else too. So I thought I would just go through my stash and kind of remind myself of what skeins I have here, because I know I have a lot of kind of 4-ply sock yarns in here. So let's delve into my huge pile of crap. Okay, first of all, let's see. This is the last amigurumi I made of Queen Elizabeth II. I usually keep the latest magazines sitting here. And I've got hand creams. What's in this? This is this is some crochet hooks that they're actually for my sister. I've yet to give them to her. These are from my nanny who passed away during the summer. So during the summer I went to a local yarn shop and I saw this book that looked really good, knitted baby blankets. I've been on a bit of a kind of crochet baby blanket kick, so I thought a little knitted book would be good. And for this I bought a load of this brand, Shapeuse Scrumptious yarn. Go 50% recycled polyester and 50% acrylic, and I got yellow, blue, the coral, purple, green, and the white. I think it's buttercream icing. So I got those. They're just stored in this box, so I need to find another home for those. Okay, I found this roll of knitting needles. This is also from my nanny who passed away, and there's lots of kind of vintage plastic knitting needles. Got a whole range of different sizes, so they're quite nice to have. Found these. So these are from Molten Yarns, a little project bag, drawstring project bag, and some sock yarn called Electric Love. I've also got a little project bag for sewing. Let me get that, I'll just pause this. So this is a project bag but for cross stitch, and I've already put my hoop in here, and it's got a grime guard. I think that's a 6-inch one, and then a little kind of waist thread catcher. That all folds up nicely and gets zipped up in the little bag. I found several project bags. I'm not quite sure what's in them. So this B one, what's this? Oh, Sardar Snuggly. So there's been a few babies born this summer, so I knitted some outfits, or knitted some cardigans and stuff with this brand of yarn. That's the leftovers in there. Ooh! I didn't know this was in here. Oh, nice. So, I have this Yarny Love, Wild Iris, and then several minis by the look of it. Oh yes, these are the ones I spoke about in a previous podcast episode. So there's those, they're gorgeous. I have to put those in my mini jar. Cat's not looking impressed. What's in this one? It's a little drawstring cat bag. It's empty. The koi carp bag. It's the remainder of the corner to corner crochet blanket that I did. Put those with my other acrylics. Let's see, what's this? Cat and mouse bag. Oh yes, these are some cotton to crochet amigurumi. So I think those are the leftovers from when I did Queen Elizabeth, and also Vlad, who's down here. I still have to kind of make his wings, so I've got him in a wee bag for protection. Who else is down here? Little rabbit. Right, let me just check this stash down here. So in this project bag I keep some cross stitch spares. Right, I have Q-snap broken apart, and I've got a couple of kits in here. Coffee Shop by Dimensions. And the other one, Feline Love by Dimensions. So they're nice little kits. Let's see what else is in here. So there's more cross stitch stuff. In here I have oh yes, little project bags again for cross stitch. There's a little small one, it's about A5 size, and then some larger ones. So more in there with the cats, which is very sweet. And then I have one with little witches and owls. So this summer I got back into cross stitch properly again, and I did a lovely cross stitch. So this is the cross stitch I did during this summer, a Stitcher Haunts here, and it was an enjoyable cross stitch to follow. I bought the kind of antiqued Ada and then the yarn separately. It wasn't a kit, it was a pattern on Etsy. So I like that. So this is, it's just a bag of DMC threads. Something very interesting in there. And down here we get to, what's this? Oh yes, so I did a granny square crochet blanket, just using scraps of Stylecraft Special DK, and that turned into that there blanket. That Luna's guarding. What's that? What else do we have in here? Oh, I'm making an African flowers blanket. So these are the little flowers for it. So these are just using up the leftovers from my temperature blanket that I made in 2021, I think it was. That was the year of the blanket. So I'm just using up those scraps. And down here I've got another blanket I'm doing. This was another scrappy one. I can't remember the name of this pattern, but I'll put a link to it below. What else have I got? I need to go through my needles, I think, because I forgot I had those. I've got more little project bags. Some lovely ones, so I need to go through my needles. I'll keep that out. So, oh yeah, this was a cardigan that I'd made years ago and never got it finished, so I just frogged it, and this is the yarn that's left over. It's Sublime Baby Cotton K-Pop DK. So it's like a purpley grey kind of colour. So I'll have to think up another use for that. Okay, this was my last hobby delivery. So last year I made a love note in mustard, so you can see the remainder of the yarn there. And I thought it'd be nice to make one in blue. So this is the yarn I got. I think the colour's like dark denim or something in the website. Got this in the clearance. Let's see if I can get the colour. So it's black outer, then it goes to like a neon orange, then goes towards neon pink in the centre. So I thought this would be good for a star blanket. So down here is where I normally keep kind of leftovers from projects past. So I'll not go through those now. I'll go and look at the full skeins I have here. So this one here. So I'm going to open up these boxes and see what else I have here. On the top I like to keep little pots of my favourite crochet hooks and scissors, and I keep my stitch markers, DK sock. So in this first box I have some Gamer Crafting Infinite Goat Portal DK sock. Bumbling Yarns. I think this was like a Doctor Who themed mini skein. You can see the little TARDIS there. Got some Siri alpaca. Some more there. Get rid of that. Some hedgerow yarns. I've got a couple of those. Little Stone Cottage. And what's this? Stranded Dye Works. Oh yeah, wash your hands. So I think that's relating to the pandemic. Some little stitch markers there. These I've had. This is the next box. What's this? Jelly Bean Yarns. Some of these I've had for years. What's this? Nicole C. Mendez. It's like a pink tweedy type one. It's a leftover, I think that's a Coop Knits pink. Vicky Brown Designs has a Christmas one. Peppermint bark. That's nice. That's a leftover one. These two-stranded dye work. So this one, Bat Cave, yeah. And this one is Flamingo Legs. This is Copeland Yarns. Copeland Yarns, and there's five in this bunch of mini skeins. Green Fade. It's really nice teal, teal blue, green, grey colours. So this can go into the mini mountain. Oh, this is a different one. This is Die Candy, and it's in chip, but it is made from 80% merino, 10% banana fibre, 10% pineapple fibre. So this is a really special one. So I had thought about making a shawl with this and having a contrasting kind of navy, a solid navy with it. Might do that at some point. I got these two to complement each other. So Giddy Ant Yarns, Frankenskein, and Elfin, because I thought those two would work really well together in a shawl that I have not made yet. Oh yes, there's the navy that I thought about using with the chip, and that's just Heritage Cascade yarns. So I thought those two would work well together. I have, oh, this is a nice one, Townhouse Yarns, and it is a combination of oranges, browns, and there are some purple shades in there. This is called Bonfire. This is a merino silk mix, so this is a nice special one. So I have to think up a project for that. But you know how it is when you see a skein you like, you kind of have to buy it because there's no guarantee you're ever going to see it again. So that's what I bought that one. Not my usual colours. I do like purples and stuff. I think that's why I bought it. That's that one. What's this? I can't even remember what this one is. I think it's an old one I bought off Etsy years ago when I first got into hand-dyed yarns. And then in here I have Lovely Lay Family Yarn. It's quite a thick one. I think this might be a DK. No, it says 400 meters. That's a nice one. And then I got Parma Violet, so that's a Surrey alpaca and silk mix. And then I have a Skein Queen in silver, which is merino silk. So I like merino silk yarns. They're lovely to wear. So in this box now we're getting into more commercial yarns. So it's just this box and this box left to look at. What do we have in here? Shared our Heart and Soul. Yep, so I made some socks out of that. That's leftovers. Some opal yarns. I made socks out of that too for my mum. This here, these were the first ever socks that I knit for my daughter, and she had tiny feet at the time, so that's why there's lots of yarn left over. So I kept that. Then this bag here, again, I have lots of commercial sock yarns. There's opals in there. Bergère de France. So I've got a couple of those, I think. It's like a chartreuse kind of colour. It looks more yellow on screen, but it's actually greener in real life. I have these are leftover handmade or hand-dyed yarns. I could put those ones from the previous box in there. So those are the leftovers, and then these are, I've had these for years. So Juniper Moon Farm. And this is a lovely soft one. I think there's silk, yeah, 50% wool, 50% silk. And it's got lovely different shades of pink, purples, greens, very muted. That's that one. And what's in here? Oh yes, Louisa Harding Petura. And this is I think this range of yarns was, the colours are based on famous paintings, so I have a funny feeling this is based on a Gustav Klimt, The Kiss maybe. And it's got lovely golden yellows, oranges, pinks, greens and blues. And 100 gram ball. Oh there, 75% wool, 25% viscose. So that's that one. And then I have two of this one. Amitola. %, wool, 20% silk. See, I think it's only 50 gram ball. Doesn't say, and I've got a funny feeling it's only 50 grams, so that's why I bought two of them. And this is blues going into greys. So again, I thought that might be nice for a shawl. And then this final box, you have some Regia. It's a nice colour. That's the colour. Nice purples with the odd bit of green and blue in there. This here, I bought two of this, and I made my youngest daughter a hat. So that's what I used the rest of that to make the hat. And I have this left over, and it's really, really bright really like a luminous coral kind of colour. There's that. Let's see. Some drops Fable and Baby Merino. So I have lots of this, the Baby Merino and the Fable, because I think I was going to knit a cardigan, and it was going to have some kind of colour work yoke design, which was going to be this. There must have been a reason. I think I started it and just couldn't get it right. So I didn't make anything with that. What else is in here? King Cole Zigzag. Colour Lightning, so that's kind of greys and blues. I got that to make my husband socks, and that. I thought he would like those, so it's good to know that I have those. You like those, Steve?
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. Heart and Soul. I have 2 of these. I have a funny feeling I did knit a pair of socks out of Heart and Soul, but I didn't enjoy it. I'd have to look back. What else? Ooh, look at this. Debbie Bliss Rialto luxury sock, but look at that. Colour 5. 75% wool, 25% polyamide. And those are beautiful colours, really luminous. Lovely. And then the last 2 commercial sock yarns. West Yorkshire Spinners. So this was a kit, I believe. Let me just check. Yep, this was a kit to make the Hollyberry Christmas socks. And that's the yarn there. So again, I bought those when I first got into sock knitting. I just say I don't really like that pattern now looking at it. But I don't have to follow the pattern, I can make what I want with those. So that's fine. So now I've gone through all my boxes of yarns. I have this here, my storage system for mini skeins. So let's go through that. So I have these mini skeins stored in this big glass jar. Originally this was a terrarium, the plants died, so I found another use for it. So I've just got the top covered with cling film just to stop any beasts getting in. And let's have a look. There's a good variety in here. I'm going to set these out. So I've come down to the floor and just tipped out my big jar to show you what I've got. So I've divided them up into colours. So you can see here's the yellows and oranges. And I have greens there. This here one's one of my favourites. Wouldn't you know it's hedgehog fibres in the colour Bounce. And it's gorgeous, luminous yellow, blue, luminous green, and there's some black in it as well. This one I treated myself to because it was actually really expensive. So it has to be a good project worthy of that. This is my blues. This is my purples and greys. I have a couple of Giddy Ant yarns. These are 50 gram. Yeah, 50 grams. This one here, I love this one because it's such a rich colour. Calicarpa. and my husband chose this. He wants me to make me some socks containing that one. And then I have the pinks, and then I've got a blue one. So I'm going to add the ones that I found earlier. To it. So a couple of lovely blue ones. Purple one. It's a gorgeous one, Blossom and Bailey. This pair. Lovely purples and pinks, and that's like a multicoloured one. Doesn't say what they are, sorry. And then, oh yeah, that Copeland yarns can go in there too. So the majority of these are, they're actually Vicky Brown designs. I'll link her down in the box below. So she does skein mini skein dip, lucky dip, that's the word. And or else you can buy just the individual, kind of like 10 gram mini skeins. So yeah, Vicky Brown Designs will do a lot of them. Giddy Ant Yarns, Blossom and Bailey, Hedgehog Fibers, I think that's it. Can't remember the others. I'll see if I can remember any of them. I'll put the dyers down below. But that's all my mini skeins. Will I get them back in the jar? So I have all of those in the jar. We go up here, I've got a cross stitch I've yet to finish. I think this is called Victorian Charm. It's by Dimensions, and I started this during the first COVID lockdown. And then I got tired of it because it's a navy Ada, so it's really hard in the eyes, so kind of covered it up and put it away and haven't worked on it since. But it's there, so I know when I feel I can pick it up again, I will. And up here I have, this is where I keep my wool winder and my knitting needles. Oh, also you can see I've got my mitten blockers and sock blockers there. Let me get those out. So I've got these out. These were presents for my husband, and they're beautiful. I don't know what type of wood they are, but they're stained dark. I went for dark. And little squirrels. And then the mitten blockers, they have detachable thumbs. So they're lovely. I think they came from, did they come from Ukraine, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as I'm aware, the shop's closed. I don't know if it'll open again, but these were I really sought after these at the time, and I kept checking back to see when the shop would be open, because I knew I wanted more of what the guy made. So they're beautiful. So in these 3 boxes, this is where I keep my knitting needles. So let's see what we have. So I have a box dedicated for Chagu red lace needles. They're one of my favourites. Really smooth to knit with. So I have those in quite a few sizes. And then I have a box for double pointed needles. Again, different brands: Knit Pro, Symphony, Knit Pro, I don't know what you call those ones. Cheap ones from there, and some little bamboo ones as well. So I have those, and then I have a box for what do you call them? Oh yeah, I have a box for circular needles that aren't the Chagu ones. There's little odds and ends there, cable needles, needle holders, Knit Pro, Zing. Oh yeah, Knit Pro Zing. That's what the double pointed ones are. And so whenever I first started off knitting, I just went and bought kind of the cheapest knitting needles there were, thinking knitting needles are knitting needles, surely that won't make much of a difference. But actually I find that over the years, you know, different needles are good for different garments or different techniques. So I find whenever I was knitting, what was the big thing I knit? Oh yes, my temperature blanket. That the Chagus, because they are stainless steel, the needles would the stitches would just slide off the needles. So I felt that I was grabbing onto the hooks too hard with my hands to try and keep the stitches on. So that contributed to hand pain. So I found for big heavy garments, wooden needles are best, because then the stitches will stay on it. So I have those. More, I think these must be like freebies with Hobby or something. Different types. I did start to use interchangeables, but they were too much of a faff. I'd just rather just have needles that as they are. So that's those, and not forgetting the needles that I found earlier, so I'm going to have to sort those out. Knit Pro Basics in that one. Like a driftwood. Oh yes, these are the ones that I bought for my temperature blanket. They were really nice to knit with actually, so I might make an inventory of what I have, see what I need, and maybe buy some more of these if they're on offer. Chayu. Why do I have to? Oh, one's 80, 160. Yep, I think that's it. So that is me for today. Thank you for joining me through my rummage of a stash. I've discovered lots of yarns that I forgot I had, and feeling all inspired to make some new projects. I have to do an inventory of my knitting needles that I have, and basically that's it. Hopefully it won't be too long before I film another video, but thank you very much for joining me today. If you like what you see, please subscribe, and I'll check back again soon. Bye.